Hi guys, you're welcome to Kumi Exclusive. Here sewing is simple, relatable, and straight to the point. My name is Kumi, and I'm so glad to have you join me today. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to stitch this style. Please note that there is a part one to this tutorial. There, I showed you in great detail how to cut this style. If you've not seen it, I'll drop the link for you in the description box. Do well to check it out. I'm just going to leave you briefly to observe the style, then we get into it. Okay, so this is the back piece. I would simply be placing my lining on it. Now, there's a profound thing I'll be doing. I will be placing the rough side of my lining on the right side of my fabric. The reason is simple. By the time I'm done stitching and I flip, I want to be seeing the rough side of my line because I've done a couple of markings on it and I don't want to have to do it again. Do you understand? So that's the reason for that. I'll be showing you how to stitch. But before then, I'm just going to mark 1.5 here. That's the zipper allowance that I gave it at the process of cutting. So I'm going to place the two pieces together and I'm going to notch that 1.5. If your own zipper allowance is 2 inches, please mark 2 inches and notch. Mine is 1.5. That's why I marked 1.5. Now I'll be showing you how to stitch. You are simply going to start from up here and stitch like this all the way to the hem and then come over to this side. Start right from where your notching is and then stitch all the way to the end. I have stitched as you can see. Can you see? Do well to notch every curve region. Trim out this edge. I have flipped over and can you see all my markings? So I'm going to stitch the darts and then I will put the two together like this and pin my zipper allowance. When I'm done with this, I will give it a very good press. I just thought to bring it closer. Can you see? So I have stitched just like I said. I will iron the dart such that the two will be facing each other. This is the front piece. I'm going to open up with the right side of the fabric facing the rough side of my lining. So don't forget to leave the upper part open as well. You won't be stitching the upper part, it's deliberate. I have stitched. I'm going to hold my dart and I'll show you what's next. I've given it a good press. This is the back piece. I will simply place the front piece on it, stretch it out and hold it with pin. Can you see? We have this puffiness at the bust region because of the darts. I'll simply be placing our waist measurement. Our waist is 35, half of that is 17.5. So I'll mark 17.5. Now, starting from that marking, I will check to the end and see what I have. Then whatever I have will be divided into two. So I will hold half of that here and half of that on the other side of the fabric. I'll come over to the under bust as well and divide our under bust into two. In this case, our under bust is 35. Half of that is also 17.5. So I just marked that. I will check what I have and divide into two. So I will hold half of that here and the remaining half on the other side. I will repeat the same process at the bust region as well. A bust is 41. Half of 41 is 20.5. So I will mark 20.5. Oh, I'm sorry. 20.5, not 21. I'll check the allowance I have. I'm going to share it into two. Connect with my ruler and stitch. So I have stitched, guys. I will simply flip and then take the rest of the measurement. So starting from my thread, that sewing that I just did, I'll place my tape and mark the rest of the measurement. So half of our under bust is 17.5. I'll mark 17.5. Don't forget that our bust is 41. Half of that is 20.5. So I'll go ahead and mark 20.5 as well. I'll connect with my ruler and go over to the sewing machine to stitch directly on top of that marking. Now, I love to do this. It doesn't bring me joy when I sew for someone, they come over to try it and I have to lose, especially when I've overlocked the rough edges and all. So I like to confirm my measurements. So before I stitch the other side, I'm just going to take my tape all around to see if I have 35.5, to see if I have 35 inches rather. So what I have is 35.5. It means I have half inch extra. I'm just going to measure again to be sure. So it's true, I have 35.5. So I'm just going to take um 1/4 of an inch here and then I'm going to stitch. I have stitched, as you can see. This is this fabric is going to be for the cape. This dress is divided into three: the skirt part, the bodice part that we just did, and the cape. So this is the cape. So I have stitched, as you can see, I've stitched the M. I didn't quite talk about stitching the side, but I have stitched the side as well. And I have pulled the gathers. I will simply fold the front piece and notch like this. What I forgot to tell you before pulling the gathers is that you should also notch the center of your cape. So I did notch the center of my cape. So I'm going to align it with the center of the front piece. So I'm going to pin all around like this. Can you see? I'm just trying to adjust my gathers around the fabric. So this cape has been attached to the upper part of the dress. They are to be stitched together. But before then, let me show you. This is the back piece. Can you see? So this is how I pinned it. This distance is going to be for, can you see? I don't want to confuse you. So this place is about 7.2 inches long. That's the roundness of a hand divided by 2. This is how I do my off shoulder. I simply divide the roundness of the hand by 2. So the forearm is 14.5 inches wide. So half of that is 7.2. I have slitted open the zipper allowance, so it gives me unrestricted access to the blouse. So I'm going to place the starting of the tape to the edge of this notching. Can you see? This is why we notched that time. I'm going to place it like this. Remember, this is the half of a round sleeve measurement, 7.2. I will stitch the upper part using a bias strip. I think this is the only thing I would love to do differently if I were to make this style the second time. I would love to stitch it instead of bias. Now I would love to cut a strip from the fabric itself so everything can blend together. By the time you place your bias like this, it's not up to 0.5 inch, so you are just going to stitch. Obviously you are going to have excess at the upper part. You are just going to trim it off when you are done stitching. So can you see the way I folded the edge of my bias and then I stitch all the way to the other side? Can you see? I folded it right here as well. Now, just the way you stitch your bias on a regular day, you're going to fold like this and stitch again. So I've done it. I've placed it on the table for you to see. This is exactly how you are going to place it on your sewing machine and you're going to stitch. Can you see? That open space you are seeing is the armpit. Can you see? This is what it looks like. Can you see? Now we are done with the upper part. We'll go over to the lower part, which is the skirt part. So I have opened it up again. So this way the fabric is on 2 folds and not 4 anymore. So I'm going to mark the zipper allowance. Whatever I decide on, whether 1.5 or 2 inches, I'm going to be consistent with it. I'll mark all the way to the end of the fabric and connect with my ruler. I have marked. I will simply place my measuring tape and mark 8 inches. There is no standard rule for this, but I think 8 inches is fair enough. So I'm going to stitch. When I get to that 8 inches, I would reverse it and then sew it all the way to the end and reverse as well. So can you see I have stitched, I reversed there and I stitched straight down. Yeah, can you see? So I'm going to open up. This is that zip allowance we just stitched, and this is the other side of it. I'll get my scissors and give the upper parts a notch. Then I will open up my fabric. I'm going to align that notching with the zipper allowance that I just stitched. Do you understand? This is me trying to get the midpoint of the skirt. So having done this, we now have a new left side and a new right side that have not been slitted into two. Can you see? We are going to slit the two sides into two. That's because we would be adding two pockets. If you do not want pockets, just ignore this process. But if you do, slit the two sides open. So I have slitted the side open. Likewise, the other side. I've slitted it open. You need it open so it can accommodate your pockets. So I'll come over to this side and I'll mark 2 inches. There is no standard rule to this as well, but I think 2 inches is fair. So I'll come to this side and mark 2 inches as well. Of course, if you mark 2 inches, you should be consistent to the other side as well. So the next thing I will do is to cut the pocket in itself. Before then, let me give it a notch. This fabric is on 4 folds. I'll place my palm like this and I will mark all around. Then I'll trim it out. Like I said, each pocket requires two pieces. So I am going to place this pocket uh, on top of that notching. It will start from that notching downward. Remember we notched, right? Yeah. So I'm going to just secure with pin. I'll place the second piece as well. Now I'm going to ensure that it starts from the notch downward. And then I will pin this side as well. I will do the same process on the other side as well. I will simply go and stitch with about 0.5 inch and I will overlock it. Thereafter, I will stitch like this all the way to the end of the fabric. I have taught this before in one of my tutorials. I'll drop the link in the box as well. So I have stitched, and this is what we have. Remember the midpoint we marked the other time and pinned? Yeah, so you are going to decide on where you want the slit to be. After you have decided, mark from the midpoint to the end and determine the midpoint. So I have 18 inches. Half of that is 9. So I will just mark 9 inches all the way to the end and connect with my ruler. I mean, from the midpoint to the edge of the fabric is 18 inches. So I have marked 9 inches and connected all the way to the end. I'm just going to slit. Please note that I'm only slitting the front. I'm not slitting the two fabrics. So I'll just hold it together like this, and I'll secure once again with my pin. At this point, you begin to think of how high you want the slit to be. But my clients would want a slit to be adjustable, like depending if she wants to wear it to church, of course she would want it to be decent compared to an hangout with friends. So when she said that, I suggested using an invisible zipper, since we may not really see for a fitting session. So I'll be putting an invisible zipper for her. So wherever she wants a zip slit to stop, she can decide by herself. So what I'll just do is to place my tape. I'm going to make it really high. Initially, I marked 20 inches, but I later increased it to 25. So um this is the slit. I ironed it both on the wrong and the right side. The first that you saw was the zipper allowance. So I'm going to slit this slit open. I later slitted it even more since I will be adding a zipper to it. Now this is the zipper allowance. I will just slit it open so I can pull my gathers. So it's open now and I'll pull my gathers. I have done that. I will simply place the upper part of this dress on it. So there are a few points I would want to align. The first is the zipper allowance. So the zipper allowance of the upper part must align with the zipper allowance of the skirt part. So I'm going to secure with my pin. I would want the dart to also align with the slit. Do you understand? In fact, that's why I even put that in front, in my front piece. Now the sides we also align with the two sides of the skirt. This is one of the sides. I'm going to place it on the side of the skirt and I'll pin. I'll do the same for the other side as well. I hope you understand. The zipper allowance of the upper part aligns with the zipper allowance of the skirt. one of the dart leg of the front piece aligns with the slit of the skirt. The sides also align, the sides of the upper bodies align with the sides of the skirt parts, and the center of the front piece will also align with the center of the skirt. This is just to ensure even distribution of the gathers. If you follow this dearly, you are not going to experience a case of the front is well gathered and then the back is scanty. Everything will be evenly distributed. So this is my zipper. This is the slits. I have stitched. After stitching, I overlocked the edges of the waistline and then I added my zipper to it. And this is what I have. Can you see how easy it is? This is the zip. Can you see? Despite the notching, can you see? The notching didn't spoil anything. Instead, it made work so easy for us. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not satisfied with the cape yet, with the finishing. So I'm still going to fold, especially this sleeve area. I'm still going to fold and stitch as invisible as can be. And this is what we have. With this, we've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, beautiful people. I hope you love this off shoulder dress tutorial as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a sweet comment, and share with fellow fashion lovers. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss any of our classic and creative tutorial here on Kumi Exclusive. Until next time, keep sewing and stay fabulous. Bye for now.